Dennis Cox and Chris Lee about to dig in the crates. So turn it up, cause it's time for the culture state. Yeah, we do it for the culture, home of the greats. And in Carolina, good from the culture state. Chris Lee and Dennis Cox about to dig in the crates. So turn it up, cause it's time for the culture state.
Excuse the bags under my eyes. I'm just a father of two and have different responsibilities these days. I'm Chris Lee. That is my man Dennis Jamel Cox. That's what the DJ stands for.
That's right.
And this is Culture State right here on YouTube and WRL Sports Plus, all that good stuff, right?
That's right. Right here on 99 on the Fans YouTube page, elbow drop that subscribe button. Okay?
Bam.
Elbow drop it, okay?
I'm trying to bring the energy, Dennis, but apparently I'm old these days. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been hearing these things a little bit more and more and more.
Well, you are the older of the two of us, so yes, absolutely.
Yes, by like 2.5 months.
Still older.
So, as we know, North Carolina beat Wake Forest over the weekend. So I'm thinking that no matter – we disagree about this, but we can talk about this later. I think that no matter what happens between North Carolina and NC State, North Carolina is still the best team in the state of North Carolina. I think they've proven that after that win. But I was there. Used to, of course, come from the 336, used to come from the triad and all that. So a lot of people remembered me, Dennis. A lot of people had fond memories of me.
It was like a homecoming for you, sir.
It really was. And I'm not even lying. Like, we can get Brad Simmons on here. I'm not exaggerating when I say that when I was waiting for my live shot, at least 20 people talked to me. Now,
Nice.
Some that were longer than others. I had one pretty long, actually like 3 pretty long conversations. One was like very long, but there's people who were just like, "Oh, yo, Kurt, where you at now? Raleigh. Oh, snap. That's what's up. Yeah, we miss you over here." There was a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
But the best interaction I had, which also let me know I'm getting up in age, is I go to the press box and a Wake Forest student is like, "Chris Lee? Oh my God, I used to watch you all the time growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm," and he says his name. And man, that was a moment where I understood what some people felt when I've said that to them before. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm only 36. What do you mean when you grew up?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? But I thought about it. I've been on television.
I just grew up. You can't be grown up. I just grew up.
I've been on television for like 9 years now. So I didn't ask how old he is, but let's say he's 20. And he started watching me at 11. And that's the impressionable years where he just started to realize, like, okay, I want to do something like that and cover sports. So now I'm that. I'm that guy. I'm Unc now. What's up, Unc?
What up, Unc? Yo, it's Unc Lee over there.
Oh, Unc, I see you. I see you with the nice little shirt. Oh, you got a nice tie. Okay, I see you, Unc, stepping out on him.
Oh, I'm
Hope
calling
your
you
knees
that.
don't hurt. Hope you got that big gay.
How's that hip? Yeah. I'm the one with the bad hip. I play a hockey game, and my hip still let me know about it 2 days later. But that's pretty cool, though, that you still got recognized. It still is kind of goes to show you that people are paying attention.
Yeah.
Because actually sometimes we don't realize who's actually watching. We're like, is anyone actually watching? Is anyone actually listening? That's always like a big question for us, even when we do our live radio show on Saturday, 10 to noon, 99.9 The Fan.
I'm not going to say this here on right here on the recording, but after we are done recording, I have somebody that said something to me that I realized they listen to us at all. But keep going.
Okay. Okay. Well, we know at least one person listens.
Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah. We don't know who's paying attention. We don't know who's listening. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, kind of frightening.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Well, I guess somebody that can relate to that is our good friend Sean Boog. I mean, we look at him, I look at him as like a local hip hop legend because he's a part of the Justice League. He was, he has music that's been played internationally. He's been doing shows internationally, but for him, he's just regular Sean. And, he runs his business. And then he decides to rap whenever he wants to rap and that type of thing. And so we had a chance to actually talk to him on Culture State Saturday. We thought the interview was very good. So we're going to let you guys hear it right here on Culture State.
Now, the beats you're hearing were produced by a man named Khrysis. But the man who rapped to this song, Sean Boog, one half of the away team, joining us live here in studio on Culture State Saturdays. That's Chris Lee, Graham Hill producing. Dennis Cox with you. Sean, man, thanks for your time, man.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
I used to play this song so much when I was at UNCG at their radio station.
Yeah.
Back in that 2004 to 7 range.
Yep.
played a lot of away teams, so it's good to actually meet you and have you on the show today.
Absolutely, man. It's great to be. I love local sports radio, so it's great to be here. I appreciate it.
So, a lot of people we know of, like, for example, like Little Brother with with Big Pooh and with Fonte, Ninth Wonder, the work that they've done together. We've heard, we had Cesar Comanche on our show a couple weeks ago. People, we've talked to Legacy before. We've chatted with Legacy before, just nothing recorded. But nevertheless, the away team was part of that Justice League crew. For those who may not know, the Justice League was just lack of a better term, just basically a conglomerate of MCs and producers here in the Triangle that really started producing music late 90s, early 2000s, and a lot of it was recorded in a dorm at NC State, North Hall. I know Cesar said that's where he recorded some of his early stuff. How did you get involved with the Justice League? Where did you come in?
So I got involved So 99 was the dorm room days.
Okay.
I got involved in 2000.
All right.
I met Comanche actually first. I met him through a friend of mine named DJ Paradigm.
Shout outs to Paradigm. That's Paradigm. My guy.
Yeah,
okay.
So
I love Dime.
I've known Dime since high school pretty much. So, okay. But I don't remember how he met him, but I met Comanche that way, and he brought me to his his place which was Missy Ann, became Missy Ann Studios.
Okay.
That's where we recorded. That's where we really started recording. I remember me and Ninth actually recorded the first song that was ever recorded in Missy Ann, because we were still testing the sound. Comanche was just getting his stuff, that type of stuff, and we kind of broke it in. So that was fun. But that's how I met and got introduced. So I missed the college. I didn't go to college, so I missed that era. But I think it was like 2000, late 2000s when I got involved.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't there at the inception, but I was there a year or so later.
But still was like, I guess, a member of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
From 2000 on.
Because I'm curious just about how these group of guys just all of a sudden just, you know this guy, you know that guy, end up meeting this person, y'all just coming together, and before you know it, all this great music.
Yeah,
putting out for the last couple of decades.
Yeah, I mean, it was. We all were like-minded when it came to the type of music we were all heads, like hip hop heads. So I think that was the common thread, and that's what brought us all together. Yeah. And then it just so happened. I mean, before I met Comanche, I never thought about. I used to freestyle and do those types of things and write songs in high school, but I never thought I could actually make it a career or tour off it, do things like that. Never would have thought of that. And we all just did it for fun. And then next thing you know, we put out the NC State of Mind mixtape, and it just blew up on an underground level. There's a place called Hip Hop Site, and I talked to Andreas Hale. I still talk to him from time to time online, but I remember he told me that those things were flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. We just put it out. I mean, we weren't trying to, we just put it out, and that's what happened.
I still want a copy. That's the thing. I know. I hit you up a few months ago. I'm like, yo, I need a copy of this, because you can't find it on digital or Spotify or anything like that. I was like, I need a cassette. Yeah. I need a CD, whatever it is. I have a CD player in my car. I will drive for hours, however long, to listen to this. But I need to find a copy of that NC State of Mind mixtape.
If I ever come, it's a collector's item.
I know, and I need it. I need one.
Yeah.
Sean,
so I don't know. Yeah.
I was just gonna reset. Sean Boog joining us right now, and he's one half of the away team, but also does some solo music himself. I wanted to ask you, as far as the Justice League conglomerate and all the folks that kind of came out of it. Of course, people know Ninth Wonder and Little Brother, I guess, the most. Right. But the group as a whole, when Big Pooh had his show a few months ago, and everybody from the Justice League, almost everybody from Justice League, was there as a reunion. It's been over 10 years for you guys to do that. Do you guys understand how legendary you guys are as far as the underground hip hop scene coming out of North Carolina? Has that registered to you?
It doesn't register to me so much, and the reason is I never look at it from. I just did what I had fun doing. Yeah. I did what I had fun doing. Just enjoyed doing it. I appreciate what we were able to accomplish and what we did. Yeah. We were able to bust out of a local scene and really go worldwide. A lot of that was for the internet. I mean, when we started, the internet was still young. Yeah. And I don't even think they knew how to deal with us at the time, because the generations after us were really learned to capitalize on message boards, on all those things. And we did, Comanche set up the lawn. It's hard for it to resonate, but sometimes people will hit me up and just say, I got you through times, all these types of things. So it's cool. I appreciate it, and I have fun doing it and still doing it. But I mean, our time was. Yeah.
Do you think if this same conglomerate was same people, same makeup, happened to come out of New York or some other major market, that we're talking about bigger stars in general right now? Because for a lot of people, they were shocked that sound was coming out of this area.
Oh man, I think I heard Comanche tell you guys this, but so we were in the local scene. Everybody was kind of going when we were coming out. They were going whatever was trendy.
Yeah,
and they used to tell us all the time, you guys, that they had a boom bap stuff. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I mean, it's really dope, but it's not going to work.
Yeah,
we're the ones that broke out, doing what we do. So I say yes, but I mean not really, because I think we were able to build our own thing and not have the buzz of being in the major city, being in New York.
Yeah.
It kind of made us stand out.
Okay.
So honestly, I wouldn't have changed where we came from. No, not at all.
So you talk about that sound that you guys developed. For a long time, like New York had a sound, St. Louis, New Orleans, Atlanta, West Coast.
Correct.
They all had these distinct sounds to it. For example, you can listen to Cash Money. You're like, oh, it has that New Orleans sound.
Right.
Do you feel nowadays that that's kind of lost a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not regional. Music used to be regional.
Right.
I mean, it used to be hip hop used to be very regional. You knew West Coast. You knew what you were listening to. The world's gotten smaller. I mean, people are closer now, so different sounds come out of different places. I know, like I was telling you guys before, I moved here in '96, and I used to listen to what was the name of the show with DJ Bro Rab and all of them on college radio out in Durham. So that sound has always been here. The boom bap sound, if you will, has always been here. So, I mean, there's a lot of northern transplants here, and there always has been. So it's like I think that was always kind of here. So, yeah, the regional's gone, but you can still find regional type music in those regions. I think, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I want to get your take on like what North Carolina hip hop was around that area, because when I started really diving into it when I got to college. I started this show at UNCG's radio station where I only played North Carolina hip hop and R&B, and I started noticing something that it felt like this area, Raleigh-Durham area, you would get a lot of the sound that you guys had.
Right.
Felt like Fayetteville was almost like more of a hardcore, New York Rockefeller type of sound from some of the guys that came out of there. Charlotte was closer to the Atlanta sound. And then if you came from like Greensboro or either like super out east, it was more of a mix of, it could be a lot of southern sounding things like Nappy Roots type of sounds. What did you think about the different sounds that came out of this state during that time and even now?
I think it's dope. I think you that's the beauty. North Carolina, right in the middle. I mean, you have people that are more influenced by the South.
Right.
You have people more influenced by the North. And I think the eclectic and different styles is what makes it beautiful. Like that's what makes it so good. So why do what you feel? I mean, that's how I say it. Just do what you feel. So yeah.
Sean Boog, one half of the away team, part of the Justice League, joining us live here in studio alongside Chris Lee, Dennis Cox, Graham Hill producing. At what point did you all realize, at least for you personally, hey, we can actually make something of this? You said it was fun. It's just what you enjoy to do. It's like, oh, we can actually make money. We can actually go perform live. At what moment did you realize
CDs,
that was a possibility? Yeah, exactly.
Shirts and everything.
Yeah, at what point did you realize, hey, we can actually make some money off this?
I would say the NC State of Mind mixtape somewhat, but even then I didn't understand. I think it was more so watching Little Brother get signed to ABB and then really them just jumping off. I mean, when we put out National Anthem, we had a 2-page article in the Source in the microphone check.
Yeah.
We were the first in the state to have something like that. The away team was.
Yeah.
And
wow.
It was around that time
That's
that
big,
I was like
that's huge.
Around that time I was kind of like, well, this could actually be some. I mean, we flew up to New York just for the photo shoot. So I mean that was big to me just because I never envisioned nothing like that. So I would say just around the Little Brother actually getting signed and doing something with it, and then just going on the road with them and seeing when they're selling out shows in LA, like in theaters, I mean, that's when I was like, well, this is something that can be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to ask about the sports influence on the music, if there's any at all. I mean, you said you're a sports fan, and here you're a Carolina fan as well.
Right.
And then you guys are called the away team, so it's kind of like a sports reference. What influence does sports have for you guys specifically, and how you guys made music?
I wouldn't say it had like much of an influence on music. I'm just a sports fan. I try to make references like Fife. You know, Fife is the ultimate sports reference guy. But I mean, I wouldn't really say the away team. So the away team name was given to us by Fonte.
Okay.
And that's because we were kind of like outside. Me and Khrysis we were a little younger than everybody, and we were kind of outsiders within the crew. Not to not that we weren't, but just we were our own little pocket where everybody else was doing different things. We were our own pocket, and that's where the away team name, and that's why we played on it. Like you'll notice at the start of the national anthem, if you heard it, it's like it's now folks, the away team. So we play with it like that. Yep. And when we went into the Hall of Justice, we used to do photo shoots, kind of like we did a photo shoot in the dugout at State. So we played with it a little bit on some team level thing, but I wouldn't say it was like a correlation. Per se, you know what I mean?
I actually was listening to the Hall of Justice the other day. I was like, the song "Grind Season." I was like, okay, like for my next football video, I might do. I was like, this is the perfect one because a lot of people talk about with sports, like, oh, it's that grind, like it's that grind season is on. Yep. So that kind of gave me a little bit of thought there. Real quick before we take a quick break, and before Chris attempts to rap as good as you. So I do have a question. Were there any athletes? I know Chris asked this to Cesar a couple weeks ago. Were there any athletes around the area that may have gotten in contact with you, that were playing your music, that got in touch with you guys?
I think later on there was. Once little brother really set everything off. So once they started going, I would say there was. I can't remember off the top just because my memory's shot at this stage of mine. But yeah, I mean, I would say there was, but not early on. Nobody. I mean, it's one of them things when you start early on, nobody's really on it, and then as it grows, and then you meet people in different cities and stuff. So yeah, eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always curious to see because again, you all were doing stuff. Your Cesar and those guys were doing stuff for the dorm room days. Right. Like was Torrey Hall being like, "Hey man, I love your stuff," just things along those lines. Just always just a curiosity.
Well, Torrey's a good dude. Actually, I know Torrey. Yeah. He was in one of our videos, me and Khrysis videos.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool. But yeah, Torrey's a great dude. He's always supported for at least the last 10, 12 years that I'm aware of. But yeah. So there's one.
So yeah, there you
there's
go.
There's a future Hall of Famer for you,
Yeah.
I know. He should be a future Hall of Famer.
He should have been in the Hall of Fame.
That's true.
Well, that's
another discussion.
That's a whole different discussion for another time. All right.
Yo,
top of the chain,
hey,
so I bet you know the name.
Sean Boog to my right. Got my man Dennis in here. Let's see what we can do in this. Yo.
Everybody saying that they want to be
Culture Steak can be your food if you've been starving. That's why we getting picked like we Sam Hartman. Sent the Falcons back to AT. Don't forget the L. Somebody call Matt Rule. Tell him check the tape as well, cause this boy's back out. Dope like crack house. Sent it to Wakanda forever, cause it's a blackout. Yeah, woman with the rush when you call him. Steve Wilkes, Bang Hart, Matt Rule, Small Jim. Got the Canes iced out, putting Raleigh on the Mac. No stopping Andre, hat trick, no cap, magic, no Shaq. Van Carroll got it next. And after this week, no Senate race text, because I'm tired of y'all texting me. I'm tired of y'all texting me. It's over now. The election is over. Don't text me. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all are texting me more than what my wife does when she's worried when I'm out late.
I'm telling you. They were in my DMs. They were in my texts. They were everywhere. Email.
So my phone number was fantastic, by the way. That was very good. So by the way, so my phone number, whoever previously had it, I still get their texts from like the political stuff. I was like, stop. I'm not, my name is not Noel. Stop it. It's not the person you're calling.
Right.
Get out of here. So yeah, I do appreciate that.
Can you give me a grade? I asked Cesar to grade me.
I give it a B. I think a B. I think a B is a good score. You stayed on subject. You were in the pocket.
Okay.
Bars were good.
All right. I need to figure out how to get to an A because I got to be with Cesar too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how to get to an A. I'm gonna get to an A one day.
I mean, you're doing it once a week.
Yeah. Because I'm not like I'm not a rapper like him.
No. You did put out one album though.
Yeah, it was like a street type of thing. But
yeah, exactly.
it was never in stores like the away team. You go to a store and you get the barcode and the away team was there. That's a different level.
That's true. That's very true.
The barcode is nice.
That's a different level.
Enjoy the barcode.
Yeah.
It's different. Sean Boog, one half of the away team, joining us here in studio with Chris Lee, grand producer, and Dennis Cox here with you all here at Culture State Saturday. Now, all right, I want to get back to music here with Sean Boog. Mm-hmm. You put out some stuff in the last couple of years, right? But you took a long break from putting out music. You said about almost 8-10 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years. Mm-hmm. Why the pause?
I lost the love for it.
Okay.
So I had been, I'd pursued rap like all through my 20s. Mm-hmm. Me and Khrysis ended up going over to Ninth Wonder's Jamla Records for a while and put out a couple projects there. One was a Jamla Duck Down release called Scars and Stripes. And I just got to the point where I was making music. I put out an album called Sean Boogie Nights, and every time I sat down to write, it became blah. Like I was just like, it's like I had nothing else to say. I was tired of the politics and just that type of stuff. So I switched over to managing Jamla as the label manager. And I think that just really threw the love out of it for me, because to me, it was never the business. It was more of a love. Right.
Yeah.
So, I just reached one day where I was like, I'm just done with this. Not as a fan. I love hip hop like forever, but I just fell out of love with being a part of it. Mm-hmm. And I just stopped. I literally stopped. I got married. I bought a house. Like I just went on with life, right?
You own a t-shirt print shop too.
Yeah,
now.
I own a screen printing shop for 13 years. So I don't know. I just kind of moved on with life. Decided to be a fan and just fall back. And then out of nowhere, smacked me upside the head, and I just started again. That's really what happened.
Yeah. How hard is it for artists such as yourself when you're continuing to write? And even for producers as well, how hard is it to continue to still just be creative and find something new constantly? Because a lot of people are like, hey, that was great. What's next?
Yeah.
Right? When's the next thing coming out? You're like, yo, like I'm still recovering from this last album I put out.
It's true, and especially in this day and age, everything's so quick. People want this every minute. So, these days, what I do, and this is why I'm really enjoying it now, I'm doing it all myself now. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm recording myself. I'm doing all these things. So, I do it when I feel like it.
Okay.
So I used to record day in and day out, and I think that's what just wore me down. And nowadays, if I don't feel like it for 2 weeks, I don't. I just don't. I just take my time with it and have a good time, and that's how I keep myself focused now. So I just, instead of like forcing it, I just have fun with it. But I have the luxury of having money other places and not having to focus specifically on rap to feed me. So that helps too.
I'm interested in the process for you as well. Like, are you riding around and an idea pops in your head and you try to find a beat that matches that, or do you listen to the beats first and let it come to you? Like, what is your process? Like, we spoke to Petey Pablo about Raise Up. He said he got the beat from Timbaland, hated the beat.
Yeah.
He wanted something else. Timbaland was like, nah, take this one. This is going to work. And he said it took him a week or so to ride around with it until he found the song. What is your process?
I write. I come up with random stuff and I write. In my notes, I have like, I don't know how many pages titled random bars. And I just put a bunch of stuff down.
Yeah.
I say all that to say I never use those. I never actually write. I never actually write a song until a producer gives me a beat, and then I just pick what I like, and I like to go off what the beat makes me feel. Yeah. Okay. So I sit down and write when I record. I never pre-write. Okay. I just can't. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know it's different. Because I know I've talked to Chris about this. As he says that sometimes that some artists might write stuff out and like, hey, let's find a beat that matches these words, or it's vice versa. So I guess it's really just kind of whatever is most comfortable.
So when I was recording, I worked with a guy named Magneto 7 who's out of Winston-Salem, and he's done some stuff with Eminem and Prodigy from Mobb Deep and everything.
Wow. Okay.
And so he is like a legit musician. So I would come up with ideas and sing it to him, and then he'd be like, okay. And he'd play around with it and come up that way.
Wow.
And that was more so the hooks, but then I'd write the verse after that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot. I know a lot of people have different ways, and I've seen people create like that. Someone like Legacy, for instance, he just has notebooks full of stuff, and he finds the right beat, like what you're talking about. So I've seen both for sure.
What's coming up next for you? What is something, as we're low on time, but what's next for you, and how can people consume your music right now?
Just follow me on Twitter, Sean Boog, Instagram, Sean Boog. I have 2 projects coming out hopefully next year. It's between Midnight's 2 and then Sector 3 is coming out. So I have 2 more projects I'm working on.
All right, Dennis, you heard him. I did a B on my rap. Cesar
Solid.
gave me a B as well. Actually, Cesar said B plus. So I didn't quite get the plus from Sean, but I'm working on that A though. Hopefully we can get that A out of it.
Hey, some people grade differently. They might have a little bit different standards. Every teacher's a little bit different in terms of that. But but you're being consistent, Chris, and that's really what matters most. I almost went full Matt Rule right there for a moment. And you're being consistent at the end of the day. From week to week, all your raps. At the end of the day, exactly. You really want to get to that elite level. You really want to be that A+ player. But still, like the fact that you got compliments, he was like, yeah, man, like you were on topic, you were in the pocket, like all this. I was like. That dude's pumped out records for years and has toured. I mean, that's the one thing to think about. If you just looked at the guy, it's like, oh, here's just this average-looking guy walking down the road. Just don't think twice about it. But, like, no, that guy's actually made it.
Yeah.
Like, is he Jay-Z? No. Is he Drake? No. But I can still say that dude made it.
Yeah. I mean, when you're able to, do something at a high level like that. Like, think about it. When a lot of people who want to do music, they'll start the process, they'll go in the studio, they'll get the songs and they'll get it pressed up and all that. But has it sold? Have you been on the radio? Have you been on tours? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you invited back for shows? Are people remembering your songs 20 years from now? Like The Shining came out like 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago.
It was 05, I think.
And so we're going on 20 years, and people still remember it and still have fond memories of it. So, shouts to him. We're glad that we're able to have him there. It was good to have him there, and also when we had Cesar Comanche on a few weeks ago as well. Yeah,
and it was actually kind of interesting when he talked about how he got burned out because he was doing music every single day, recording, writing, all that kind of stuff, and he fell out of love with it. That happens to people in every industry, even in music. It can happen in our industry too. It's like, you get to go to sporting events and talk sports and stuff all day. It's like, y'all don't realize everything that goes on behind the scenes. Like, yeah, you may hear us for a couple hours, or you may only tune in for 10 minutes on the radio, but there's so much more that goes behind that. The traveling, the editing, all the producing, everything that goes with it. It really can wear on you. A lot of long nights. I know we're recording this on a Tuesday. I was up last night doing Canes hockey work until 11:45 last night. Like, it's still Canes hockey. It's like, yeah, but I also wanted to go to sleep at 10. Like there's things that you just have to sacrifice in order to do what you're doing. So to hear him say that was very relatable.
A 2-hour radio program can literally take a week to put together. I mean, there's things that we are developing and all that throughout the week.
On top of our already daily stuff that we do.
And that's the part people don't realize. And they think that for television too. They think that, we just kind of roll up in there and, I'm on at 6 o'clock. I can roll in at 5 o'clock and, put on a suit and then just go on television and start talking. Nah, you saw a little bit of it. You saw me writing scripts and putting together my graphics and you didn't see the editing part, but editing goes into that. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this that a lot of people don't see. So, and the same goes for music. You just don't roll in the studio and make a hit. It takes work.
I mean, unless you're Tupac. I mean, it's otherwise,
Or Jay-Z, because Jay-Z legit just freestyles off the top of his head.
Yeah, and it's amazing. But that's the thing. Those guys are the exception.
Right.
They are the exception to what actually happens. So I would say, close off even with this podcast. Again, subscribe here on 99.9 The Fans YouTube page. Elbow drop that subscribe button, as Chris just showed you. But even this, putting it together for WRL Sports Plus, literally edit this down to 30 minutes on the dot.
Yeah.
30 minutes on the dot. Yeah. It's not an easy thing to do. It's one thing if you can just all right, slap it together, you can throw it up, and it might be 36 in 47 seconds. No, 30 minutes on the dot. Not a second shorter, not a second longer.
Glad that you guys listen to us. Hopefully we'll continue to be entertaining for you. Spoiler alert, we will be. So make sure you elbow drop that subscribe button. You punch it down. You do a leg drop on whatever you got to do. And keep getting this Culture State content. Remember, 10 to noon on Saturday mornings, WRL. Yes, but you can watch it on WRL Sports Plus.
Yes, you can.
But I was going to say 99.9 The Fan, which is the terrestrial radio station if you want to listen to it that way.
You can watch us on the radio. That's fine.
Yeah.
Chris Lee about to dig in the crates, so turn it up, cause it's time for the culture state. Yeah, we do it for the culture, home of the greats, in the Carolina hood from the culture state. Chris Lee and Dennis Cox about to dig in the crates, so turn it up, cause it's time for the culture state. Yeah.